Good evening, all. How are you? My name is Fatima Abubakar. I'm a counselor, a psychologist, and gender specialist in a nutshell. I am here to give you a positive impact on the topic that we have today, positive impact on parent role in the gender-based violence against children. So I don't know where to start from, but I have a lot to share with us right from stage, which I know most of you know all these stages right from time, but it's just going to be a revival, like a reminder to the parents in participation on watching how the child grows within the environment and in their absence and their presence. We have 5 stages of development in psychology. There's oral stage for development, that is from birth to 1 year, where the baby is satisfied from sucking. The baby found pleasure from sucking the mother's breast or sucking anything that brings them pleasure. That is where the baby found pleasure in and continuously go for that. So between the age of 1 to 3 years, that is anal stage, the baby finds pleasure in pooping. Once the baby poo, then the baby will be satisfied. Then from year 3 to 6, that is the phallic stage. This is very dangerous and very, very complicated stage for the babies, because this is a stage where the babies will start envying their mother, and the boys will start envying their fathers, like their fathers will become their enemies, and for the girls, their mother will become their enemies, like they hate seeing them connecting together. So this at this stage, the parents really, really have to play a great role, a very, very big role in making the baby to understand, that it is nothing pertaining to what they are thinking, like it is a mutual feeling and something that they can avoid. From that stage, the parent has to engage in giving the children a proper counseling. Like when they are being envious, you need to bring them together for them to understand what is happening. There is nothing like it's a baby. Those kids are really sharp and they started having these feelings right from this stage. So puberty, from 6 to puberty, that is from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to 18. This is a latency stage where the baby have these feelings of touching themselves. They will sneak into the bedroom. They just want to have this privacy, a very, very isolated place just to feel this touch and everything. So at this stage, the parents really, really, really have to not they don't have to be harsh, they don't have to be these tiger parents to make sure that the babies are fine. What they need to do is just to be a jellyfish parent, like in a very stylish way, try to bring the child much more closer to them, to have this bond of understanding, making them to understand that these feelings has to do with adolescents. It's approaching them, and it's something that they can't just fight it, but they can have so many ways of controlling these feelings. Number one, by praying very hard. Number two, by the parents trying to take away anything that would just make them to feel like having this continuously, like movies, all these cartoons. There are a lot of cartoons that are not just healthy for us, and this media, it's impacting a lot of knowledge on our children. Like let me say, the WhatsApp you thought is just normal, you just get the phone for a teenager. You understand, like nothing it's going to happen. It's just a normal thing. It's a world of our own or something that I just want to reach on them one or two ways. This phone or this very application is going to be influenced by maybe the from their close friends or peer groups or so. Then you tend to be so relaxed, thinking it's just a normal communication. You just do it because you want to reach on them one or two things, like maybe if you're not close or so. Then there is this closest relations. Let me start from them, because everything used to start from the person next to you. It is never from someone outside. It is always from us, like within the family, most especially. Yeah, it might be a house help, no a house boy, or maybe your sister or brother or someone staying with you in that house that will start, you understand, initiating the girl child or the gender, any of or any of the two. They will start by touching their private parts or so, engaging them into all these emotional feelings, and making them to adapt to that, since right from the stage one the baby is naturally created to to conquer pleasure, to find pleasure, to feel the relaxation of this fixation. What I'm trying to say here is the parents really need to start taking care of their children's emotions. Like they really have to play a great role in making sure that their children are in safe hands. If they are working class mothers, or if they are business owners, if they are just a busy parents, all what they need is to make sure that the children are in safer hands before adolescence. All the gender violence that it's happening today, honestly, 60% of the assault has a gene. Like it started from somewhere. Yes, there is a way they normally used to initiate those teenagers. I believe that there is something that the children are already into, that there must be a way that those teenagers were being spoiled in one or two ways, that they have already started getting attached to those feelings, and maybe it's not just coming straightforward. Like a lot of a lot of girls, a lot of teenagers are now being the one going for the men, like all these lesson teachers. If you ask a lot of our teenage girls, if you go to a counseling session with them, you get to find out that the men, the boys, are the victims in so many ways, but it's just the way the society view how it's coming from the men, that the men are much more masculine, and they have the strength to always reach out to the girls and do it without their consent. Then the society is not looking out to those boys and checking out on how they are being abused too. And all this used to start from this five stage of development. Sorry, I didn't mention the genital stage of development. This is the puberty stage. So we have five stage of development, like I mentioned, and the parents really have to be monitoring the child at the stage of genital. Like they need to be soft and connected with the parents much more than being a tiger parent. They just have to be a jellyfish parent. They have to have so many strategy from a psychological background on how to kick away all the anxiety and the feelings, kick away. They have to have so many strategies to kick away the anxiety attached to those teenagers before it gets out of hand. Like there is a case about a lady that has been harassing her cousin just to make sure that she have him. So at a point in time when everything just came out, the parents started blaming the boy. They even sue him which later on they get to realize that it was the girl that has been going for him, and she has started having these feelings right from her phallic stage. She told them since when she was 6, 7 years, she wanted so much of someone touching her. Like she envies seeing her daddy touching her mother, and she just felt like she wants to get rid of her daddy, rid of her mommy, just to have her daddy all by herself. So at this stage, I think it is not just funny for us to be watching the 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 girl child, or the both genders, like being envious. We have to bring them to a psychological thought, having a very good connection with your children, like one-on-one session. It can be once in a while, it can be every day. It depends on how you have a strong connection with your child. So I think parents really have to play a great role here. Concerning the social media, be your teens online coach. Like you have to be their coach. You don't need anyone to coach them. You don't need the society or the media to show them the way. It has to start from you. It has to be you, because you are the one in question. When it is well with the kids, yes, we are very proud of them. And when they started going astray, we tend to feel as if it's a taboo. Then we have to watch from these 5 stages and know how to control our teens. Yes, I think this is all I have for now. Just be their boss and mentor them very well. I'm very sorry. I'm a very busy person. I wanted to give more, but honestly, I've been occupied throughout the week. Please, I'm waiting for the question and answer. I'm ever ready to answer anything. I hope we have benefited in one or two ways. Please, that be cooking,
Thank
something
you.
like that. Mhm.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. And I believe we all learned one or two things from your analysis. And let me even quickly summarize what we have present towards the analysis and towards the topic of discussion, which is parent role also play a key role towards the positive impact of the gender-based violence incident that in our society of nowadays we couldn't experience a lot of gender-based violence from their parents, because between the husband and also the wife you see a lot of disagreement between both of them without even hiding their actions, and in front of the children they will be behaving this kind of unnecessary action towards beating. You'll be seeing when the husband will be beating the wife, where the wife will be also insulting the husband. And as a result of this, the children normally learn something from them, from their action. That's why parent role is very important, towards the positive aspect of the gender-based violence. I believe, our parents need to take action on, they need to take careful based on their action. They normally act in front of their children, because children learn from all these incidents that normally happen in our society, and also that normally happen in our home. That's why urge the whole parent across the world to be very careful in terms of all these GBV that is happening in our society, so that our young generation, our children, will not be able to learn negative aspect of all these actions that we be having in our society. Thank you very much for giving up the excellent presentation. And I'm going to ask the participant if there is any question that you feel like asking our speakers. Please, you can raise up your hand and also unmute yourself, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay. Dr. Umar, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. As you've said, my name is Dr. Umar Dauda, an academician from Nigerian Police Academy, though currently serving as the Basa Federal College of Education, Jamari in Nigeria. Let me start first and foremost by appreciating the presenter for the wonderful presentation done. And mine is just a mere observation. In my perception, I think looking at the topic, the presenter should have pointed out issues, that should be considered by parents at each of the stages she identified. From the way I've seen it, it's like she more or less skewed the presentation to a specific a stage. I don't know, maybe that's in her perception, maybe that is the stage at which the children are much more vulnerable to the issue under consideration. But I think it will be more meaningful if at all she can give us a hint, no matter how little it should be. What is expected of the parents at each of the stages she's identified? I'm much more concerned of the last stage, even though she have a belief for a particular school of thought that said, that adolescent stage is much more dangerous. I don't want to put it this way, but sorry, maybe that will be more understandable. So that's my take. I don't know whether if the presenter is having a contrary view. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for giving us your observation. I believe the presenter heard what you just said. Mrs. Fatima, please, can you?
Dr. Omar, thank you for your observations. I really, really appreciate. This is a time of adolescent sexual experimentation, the successful resolution of which is settling down in a loving one-to-one relationship with another person in our 20s. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a stage where we have all the feelings to ourselves, and if not being careful, control from the stage one, that is from the oral stage, to the latent stage. If not being carefully watched from these initial stages, then we tend to have the feelings and control to ourselves. Like we are just a lot of men or a lot of people you see today misbehaving in going for so different kind of sexual connections is because they have been trying at these stages of development to press down this sexual urge that was naturally being created at this early stage. A lot of our mothers, when they caught one of the things like playing with their private parts or one or two ways to catch pleasures, they they use skin to flog them, engage them in so many hard punishments. Then later on, when they saw the parents, they have already impacted that fear in them. Then they will start like being afraid not for the parents to catch them. Then they will be pressing down these feelings, trying very hard to make sure that they did engage in it so that the parents will caught them doing it again. So at the time that they reached to their latency stage and genital, they started having that guts and feeling as if it's their right to do what they want. It is when they started displaying all these feelings that they had been trying to conquer from the early stage. That is why you see a 55 years to 60 years old man misbehaving honestly, because he has been trying so hard to play the good boy the parents ever wish for him to play, like not finding him in any such acts. The best way to do it is not just to be a tiger parent, like just make sure you have a very good communication, have so many keys in talking to those teens, taking care of their emotions. Like you properly have to make sure you are playing a great role in taking care of their emotions in one or two ways. Yes. So please, Dr. Umar, hope I have answered your question. And thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Fatima. We still have one more question left. Mr. Etim One, please, if you have any question to ask our honorable speaker, the floor is yours. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Hassan. I'm really appreciate. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Etim Onen. I'm from Youth Emancipation and Rehabilitation Foundation. in Abuja here. So we deals on implementation and implement of youth policy in Abia State and in Abuja. So I was opportune to be on this platform. So I have a question. Since we are talking on gender-based violence, and I appreciate the speaker, she did so many things. Although I joined late, so I didn't come on time. And from the place I met her, she said a lot of wonderful things. So my question is, how can parents play a very significant role in trying to reduce this gender-based violence in the society currently? Because I believe most parents don't pay much attention to their children. So how can a parent play the significant role? Because I witnessed something a couple of months ago where a daughter was afraid to tell the mom that someone was molesting her, and then she opened up to someone. When the lady confronted the mom and was telling the mom what the daughter said, the mom could not believe. So I'm asking, how come in that situation, how can parents play this significant role to make sure that even if the gender-based violence is not totally stopped, but it should come to a standstill? That's my question. Hello?
Okay, thank you very much. I believe Malama Fatima will be able to answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Malama Fatima, you can unmute yourself and answer the question. Thank you.
I missed his name. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your question and thanks for listening. And I really appreciate the compliments. So parents can play a great role by showing that they see their children emotions, reflecting them back, like sitting down one-on-one with their kids and said something like, "Hey baby, I see that you are very sad. Oh, are you mad? Wow, that was scary." You understand? Things that would make them comfortable around you. Secondly, open your heart to their emotions. Don't just see the emotion, but accept it and even welcome it. Tell me more about it. You understand? Ask them, wow, that thing really happened. I'm really, really surprised. Then what happened next? Oh, that usually used to happen with me at my tender age too. When I was 13, there is this very guy in my area, stuff like that. Then laugh about it. And ensure that your heart is open by putting down your phone and other distractions. This really, really have to be. See, a lot of parents showing all the love and emotions on TikTok that they are not really practicing it physically or putting that love into their marriage. They are really, really doing more harm to their good on their children, seriously. So we really, really have to know that this phone is really, really becoming a distraction in our life and in our children's life too. A lot is happening. So give children emotion the time they need, like at the very time they need these emotions, they need this concentration, they need your attention. Make sure that you put down everything just to attend to them. Give emotions the room they need, a free speech zone. When children have strong emotions, they can help you. When children have strong emotions, this strong emotion can help you listen without getting so triggered by the ways they express themselves. Like not just when they tell you that, "Mommy, I went to the bathroom and I used my finger," is the only thing that they can remember if they want to misbehave next time. On this, have to listen to them very, very well. Create a comfort zone map, like the one above. Just okay, a comfort zone map, making sure that you know that that person likes her as a thing, and creating a room to gist about it, and making sure that you showing as if it's just nothing. Yes. So at the moment that the child see you being excited, finding the whole gist it's so exciting to them, then they tend to tell you everything without having fear. They tend to open up, and they will even tell you much more than what you want to know, because they don't have that fear in them anymore. Yeah, I think that is all.
Thank you. Thank you
Release
very
their
much, our
emotions,
honorable
something like that.
speaker. For, thank you very much, our honorable speaker, for making a justification towards answering your question. And without wasting our time, I would like to call on the next speaker.